Hey y'all, we're going to try this again since it didn't work earlier, but I want to go over just a couple things. I'm going to do a demonstration of the technique and hopefully I'll do it correctly. This is the bow that we were talking about, the recurve bow. Remember, you've got different parts to it. You need to know what those are. You can look online on the chapter that's in the archery part of it and it will show you what they are. But real quick, you've got your bow itself and you've got the upper arm and the lower arm. Then you have your tip, you've got your nock for your string right here. You have your arrow rest, which is here. You can use this for an arrow rest. On our school bows, we have this added, so you rest the arrow there. Then we have the spot for your grip and the string. If you remember when I was showing you how to string and unstring, it's a matter of making sure you step through. Oops, sorry, wrong foot, sorry. You bring the foot through, you step through, you put it over your ankle. If you remember right, I'll scoot back so you can kind of see. Put it over your ankle, then all you're gonna do is you're gonna pull it forward like this and release the string. To string it, you just do back the opposite so that it's there. Make sure it's always in that nock so it's there. Keep your fingers out of this area. That would be a good thing. All right, the parts of the arrow. We went over these, I just wanna make sure that you have them. This is the arrow that we're gonna use for my demonstration. Remember, we have the parts of the arrow is gonna be the nock, the fletchings, these are also called feathers, but we use technical term is fletching. Then you have this little area right here, which is called the crest. There's usually something written on it, the shaft, and the tip. There are different types of tips for arrows to use depending on what type of shooting you're going to do. We talked about the safety lines. And this, for our class, as you can tell, I've got a shooting line. Your shooting line is right here. It's identified by this rope. And then behind it, about 5 feet, you'll see our poly spots. And that's what we're using for our safety line so that it's there. So when I want to get ready to shoot, I am going to come up to the shooting line and I'm going to straddle it so that I am standing perpendicular to the target, because that's where I want to be. I want to make sure that I'm perpendicular to the target, okay? When I go to load, once I've been whistled up and I can do this, then I'm going to load my bow. Remember, you've got the hen feathers, which are the same color, and the cock feather, which is the odd color. The cock feather goes on the outside. You want to clip it into your bow like this. Of course, this is a different string type of bow, so ideally you want this to sit level on your arrow rest, just like that, with the cock feather out and the blue feathers are on the inside. To grip it, I'm going to take these 2 fingers underneath and this one on top on these first knuckle, and then my other 2 fingers, I just bring them together like this. So here's what I am doing. For those that are weaker, sometimes they'll put that 4th one on. I don't do that because it's uncomfortable and I don't feel like I have good control. When I go to pull back the string, remember I'm staying straddled, my arm is extended out. I'm going to come here, I'm going to keep my shoulder relaxed, don't tighten it up, pull it back here, anchor it, and once I have it anchored and I feel good, I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I'm going to release it. And I stay right here, my follow through is right here so that I can release it. It's pretty simple. Now another type of bow that we use in my family is a compound bow. It's a little bit different, it's got a few more fancy schmancy things on it, it's got a sight. But it still has your arrow rest and it has your nocking point and it's got your top and your bottom. As you can tell, it's got pulleys, so it's not as difficult to pull based on the poundage that you're going to be pulling back. And I don't get into that with this class very much because our archery class that we offer to our general students does a good job of that. So when we're going to use this bow, we go back to the firing line. I always put my bow down to load and I make sure that that cock arrow is the direction that it needs to be, and I'm not using my finger release, but it sits on the arrow rest just like this. I'm going to line it up to my target, same process, 2 fingers under, 1 on top, arm out. I'm going to pull back here, and then when I'm ready to go, I just release it with coming straight back this way. Now, I did that for 2 reasons. I wanted to show you how to do that, but I also like to show you how you need to take the arrows out of a target because that's important too. All right, so we're going to move up here to the target. as you can tell, I just set stuff up here in my backyard. It's pretty simple. And I didn't have a good shot on the first one, as you can tell that too, right? So, when we're looking at the target, again, remember we've got these rings, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you count your arrows. You will shoot ends, which an end is how many arrows are you shooting at one time. And usually there are multiple ends to a round. A round is X number of ends shot. So right now I've shot one end with 2 arrows. This one doesn't count because it's way up here, but whether I'm on the target or I'm not, you pull the arrows out the same way, all right? To pull it out from up here, I'm going to make sure that my hand is this way, my fingers stay on top of it, and I'm gonna pull the arrow out toward my shooting line. Don't ever pull the arrow so that it goes this way through the target, because you hurt or can really ruin those fletchings. Once I've pulled this out, then I look at the target. Okay, I hit that on the black. Counting that out, I scored a 2 on that. To pull this out of this target, I put my hand this way. It's just like this, right? With between my finger and my middle finger is right there, so I can pull on the target as I pull out the arrow that way. And then you can score it. Pretty simple. Now, I know I'm rushing through this, but I want to make sure we've got these videos so that you can kind of see what's there. That's archery very quickly based on what I had shared with you in class today. So I will stop this one and then we will do a slingshot here in just a second.